All right, let's talk about a seismic shift that's happening right now in one of the world's oldest professions. By 2026, just around the corner, artificial intelligence isn't just going to be some new tool for accountants. It's going to fundamentally rewrite the entire job description. So let's dive in and see what that future really looks like.
Honestly, this one slide pretty much tells the whole story. For decades, the accountant was the number cruncher, focused on manual execution. The future? Oh, it's completely different. It's all about becoming a strategic partner, a tech-savvy advisor who uses AI to interpret data and actually guide business decisions. The value is no longer in just doing the work, but in understanding what all that work actually means.
And that, of course, brings us to the question on everyone's mind. It's the big one, isn't it? Is AI here to replace the accountant? Well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's really more about evolution than it is about extinction. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, so the biggest challenge, the biggest change is happening right at the very beginning of the career path. The traditional way of, paying your dues by doing all those repetitive manual tasks, well, that's disappearing, and a whole new ladder is being built in its place.
This is where it gets really specific. These core entry-level tasks, the manual data entry, the routine bookkeeping, the basic tax prep, these are exactly what AI excels at. So as these roles get absorbed by technology, that first step into the profession simply has to change. It's inevitable. And here is the absolute key. Instead of spending their first few years just producing reports, junior professionals are now going to start their careers by reviewing AI-generated outputs. I mean, this is a huge deal. It means professional judgment and skepticism aren't late career skills anymore, they're day one requirements. But this is where the opportunity really opens up. As those old roles fade, these new specializations are emerging. We're already seeing a demand for people who can manage the AI, who can ensure its quality, and who can navigate the really complex ethical landscape. These aren't just fancy job titles. These are entirely new career paths being born right now.
So if the ladder is changing, how do you climb it? Well, you're going to need a new set of tools. This brings us to the essential modern toolkit, what we're calling the CPA AI skill set that pretty much every professional is going to need to master.
This table right here, this is basically the blueprint for the accountant of 2026. See, it's no longer enough to just know accounting standards. You need AI literacy to use large language models for research. You've got to have data analytics skills to build dashboards that actually tell a story. And you absolutely have to blend AI's forecasting power with good old human intuition to become that true strategic advisor. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But what about the real world? Well, the data shows this transformation is already creating some massive efficiency gains. Let's just look at the numbers. 56. That is the average number of minutes an accounting professional is already saving every single day by using AI. That's nearly an hour reclaimed for higher value work, for client relationships, for actual strategic thinking. And it gets even better. For those who really lean in and become advanced users of these tools, that number jumps to 79 minutes a day. That's over an hour and a quarter every single day. The more you adopt, the more capacity you create. It's that simple. And the impact isn't just individual, it's organizational. We're talking about firms using AI closing their books an average of 7.5 days faster. Now, this isn't just about speed for speed's sake. It means businesses get critical financial information that much sooner, allowing them to be way more proactive and strategic. Okay, so we've seen the skills and we've seen the productivity gains. But now let's look at how this actually reimagines the core functions of the profession day to day. What does this really look like? Take a look at taxation. Some sources are suggesting that by 2026, up to 80% of individual return prep could be automated. Think about that. That is a massive shift. The tax professional's time is freed from mind-numbing compliance to focus on what clients actually value, strategic tax planning and scenario modeling. And auditing, it's getting a complete makeover. The auditor is evolving into a risk navigator. I mean, just think about that title for a second. It's proactive, it's forward-looking. They're no longer just checking the books after the fact. They're navigating the entire risk landscape of a business in real time.
And if you want to understand just how huge this change is, this slide says it all. In the past, auditing was based on testing these tiny, representative samples of data and hoping for the best. Now, with AI, auditors can review 100% of transactions. This moves the profession from a reactive, backward-looking function to a proactive, even predictive one. And we're even seeing the rise of what's called agentic AI. Now, don't let the jargon scare you. These are basically autonomous systems that act like a super-powered assistant, handling complex, multi-step tasks all on their own, like drafting a client memo or analyzing variances. This frees up the human professional to focus on what they do best, building relationships and trust. Which brings us to the most important part of this whole story. Despite all this incredible technology, the human accountant is actually becoming more valuable, not less. Technology is the tool, it's the partner, but it is not the replacement. Because at the end of the day, here's what the algorithms just can't do. They can't replicate human creativity. They don't have true ethical reasoning. They don't have that professional judgment that's forged by years of experience. And they certainly don't have the deep contextual understanding of a client's business, their fears, and their goals. These are the uniquely human skills. So this all boils down to one critical idea. The CPA's ultimate role is to be the human in the loop. They are the final arbiter, the ethical backstop, the one who provides the critical oversight and takes ultimate responsibility for the output. Because trust is, and always will be, the foundation of this profession. And I think this quote just synthesizes it all perfectly. AI is brilliant at the how to process the data, how to run the analysis. But the CPA provides the strategic direction. They define the why. Why are we doing this? And the who. For whom does this matter? The human provides the purpose. So we'll leave you with this final thought. As technology continues to absorb all the routine and repetitive tasks, the most important question for every single professional to ask themselves is this: what is it about my work, my insight, and my judgment that is uniquely, irreplaceably human? Because in the age of AI, that's where the real value is going to be.